Hey guys, so today's an Andie Makes and I am making my little good buddies. And I'm not making the pink one, I am making this blue one right here. Now, I bought this on eBay and it was in the UK stock, so if you're a UK resident and you want to make this, then a quick search on eBay should bring this up, hopefully, if it's still in stock. Now, this is what's inside the box. We have the instruction booklet, which is in English for once, which is really good. I mean, if you follow instructions, that is, because I didn't really do that. You guys know what I'm like, I just do what I want. And another awesome thing is that the specifications of all the items inside the box is in the beginning of the booklet, so if you wanted to make this entire thing from scratch, you could do so, which is hella extra, but you could if you wanted to, like me for instance, because I do want to make a good Italian room, as you guys know. Now, all the paper pieces, including the templates, are on these four shiny sheets. Yeah, they're shiny. I don't think they're laminated, are they? I don't know, someone tell me. And then you have everything in clearly labelled bags here, which is like labelled from A to D, which is very useful and corresponds to everything inside the booklet. That's if you want to follow the instructions. I mean, I probably should have followed the instructions, but whatever. Okay, and another reason why I really wanted to get this kit is because it has a window! It has a window, which I thought was really cool, and it actually has 3 walls, well, 2.5 walls, which I thought was cool. And it also comes with a dust cover, which is practical in one sense, but in another sense it's not because the battery pack is inside the seam. Now, I always like to cut out all my pieces to begin with my scissors and scalpel. Ta-da! And I keep all the pieces in a large bag. Some pieces I didn't cut out because you do have to glue them onto cardboard later, so I recommend you read through your instruction booklet before you cut everything out. And now this is me gluing the wallpaper down. Now, it's the brown side which the wallpaper goes down onto, and the base is usually the one with 2 brown sides. And it's fairly easy to match them up with these ones. I mean, the window one was pretty obvious because there was a hole. Okay. And I use Pritt Stick to glue down my wallpaper. Now, I know some people use tacky glue for theirs because it means there's no lumps, but for me, I've used Pritt Stick and it's worked out just fine so far. If you apply a nice even layer, you shouldn't have any lumps. And I always like to smooth it out as well using a piece of paper, tissue paper. See? All nice and smooth. As smooth as it can be. Okay, and then you gotta figure out how everything goes together. Now, initially I was a little confused because I was holding the window upside down for a large portion of trying to figure this out, but I figured it out in the end, and here we go. This is how all the pieces go together. And I glued it all together with my handy UHU, which I use for the majority of this project. And this is what the glued together room should look like. The only downside about UHU is that it makes acrylic paint bleed, so I do recommend you be careful when using UHU. Don't know why it does that, it's a bit weird. Okay, now these are all the pieces for the bed. Unfortunately, yeah, those 2 pieces were sort of stuck together, so I had to rip them apart, glue them, and then I painted it up again with white because it was annoying me. And this is what the bed should look like when it's all glued together. There was always a weird pink smear on my thing as well, but you can't really see it when it's all together. Now, there's a hole in the bottom one because that's where the switch for the battery goes, and then the hole there is where the wires thread through when you wire it later. Which is clever, but wiring this was awful. Okay, and here I am bending the wire to make the little handle on the bed. And having pliers for this is really quite useful, because you can't really do it with your fingernails. Now, I had some rhinestone glue, which meant I had a fine nozzle. I do use that throughout some of the project to glue some of the finer bits, and I know this is out of focus, I'm really sorry. Some bits are out of focus, but I don't realise it until I edit this in post, so apologies in advance. And then I use my reverse tweezers for some fine handling, and that's what it should look like. Okay, and these are all the bits for the sort of staircase slash cubbyhole shelves. So you've got those blue panels, which are the shelving on the front, and this is what it looks like. Now, I actually forgot to put the middle shelf in, but I do remember to do it afterwards, so don't worry. And then you got to bend the wire to make the handrail as well. And it should look something like this, although maybe slightly less gluey, because I kind of got glue everywhere, but that's what I'm like. I'm messy, unfortunately. And this was actually really confusing to put together. I did have to follow the instructions for this, but they didn't actually help that much either. Okay, and that's the pieces for the little cubby, and that's pieces for the chair, that was the shelf, and that was the table. Okay. I didn't even have time for me to speak. But yeah, as you can see, all explained now. So that was the little cubby. This was the chair. I glued it wrong several times, so I had to pull it apart, but I'm just not careful when it comes to these things. You'd think I'd have a little more finesse when it came to making these, but no. And that's the hovering shelf. The hovering shelf, does that make sense? Yeah. Well, it'll make sense later when I glue it down. And that's the table. And yes, the legs are wonky, don't worry, I did fix it later on. But I was just like, this is, I just can't keep it straight, much like me, because I'm not straight. And then here I'm gluing on the ribbon onto the little cubby, which is cute, because it makes it shiny, ever so slightly shiny. And then I just glued it and trimmed off excess bits. I do need a new pair of scissors. I feel as though my scissors are quite blunt after working on this project now. If anyone has any good scissor recommendations for these kinds of projects, please let me know. And there's my shoddy camera work. There we go, in focus. Okay, and next I'm making the little sort of drawer panels. Yeah, drawer panels for the table, which is easy. It was, for some reason, I don't know why it wasn't wood, but it was foam instead. But it's just a weird touch, really, if you ask me. At this point, I was like doing this at night, so my hand was like having the major shakies, which was really, really weird and frustrating. But yeah, you need a steady hand for this. So when you have the shakies, it's not that great, but I managed it. Oh, and then this part, I'm cutting out the handles. That one, yeah, just shot off into the middle of nowhere. When you cut some of these bits, they do tend to fly off into like the abyss, so just be careful when doing that. And this is my rhinestone glue again. It's really quite useful for having a fine tip to apply glue. And for those curious, the tweezers I'm using are reverse tweezers, and they're quite useful when it comes to handling small fiddly bits, because as you know I have nails, so that kind of limits my mobility. I don't really know how to describe it, but you know what I mean. Nails kind of get in the way, but I also like having my nails, so I manage. Okay, and now I'm making the bed mattresses, and this is me measuring out the filler. And that's the cover material. Like I said, I really do need to get some scissors which are suited for fabric. Okay, and this time I use my UHU. If you watched my previous one, you'll know that I used my glue gun, but this time I was like, the material's a bit easier to work with, so I used my UHU. And it should look something like this when you are done. I was a bit off and lumpy, but that's because I didn't trim the mattress filler down to fit. And I glued down the top one, but not the bottom one, because you need that to move so you can get to the battery pack. Okay, and next, this is me making the quilt. And this is the template that comes with it. I sew these. Now, you don't have to sew them, you can glue them, but I find sewing to be quite therapeutic. But just so you know, it's an option to glue the sides if you so wish to, but I like sewing them. And then you turn it inside out, like so. And then you stuff in the mattress filler and sew it back up. Don't know why it was just mattress filler. I did think it was a bit weird, but I guess it does give the overall thing a bit more dimension, which looks quite nice, I think. Yeah. I sewed it up. Okay, and I did use my glue gun to get the bed to have the little fold back. I burnt myself like twice doing that because I'm silly, but that's how I did it. And these are all the bits for the pillows which I sewed because it's just, yeah, it's therapeutic for me, and that's the stuffing for it. Ta-da! Pillows! And that's what the bed looks like when I've got my pillows. Now these are the little bits which go on the shelves, and I'm going to construct a little cannon, which is super cute. And I know this is out of focus again, I'm really sorry, but I can't help it. I can't help it. And this is me sticking it onto the shelves. It's kind of a shame because you can't really see the shelves too well in the actual scene, but I guess it's like hidden details and I love things like that. And then I had a shit ton of books to make. Oh my god. So many books to make you wouldn't believe. At least like over 20 or something. Maybe exaggerating, but it felt like a lot. I was sat there for a while just folding books. So many books. I feel as though I should get some folding pliers, but my hands work just fine. See, so many books. So many books. This book was cool though because it had stuff inside it. And that's one that goes on the table, as you'll see. I do love mini things. I do love it when mini things have a level of detail like that. It's like one of the things I enjoy about making projects like this. Okay, and then I just glued in a whole bunch of books to go onto the shelves. So that's what the finished bed looks like in its entirety. Well, apart from the cat, but you'll see that at the end. Okay, now these Rubiks Cubes, oh my god. While they're adorable, finished folding these and getting them to just... That bit was not therapeutic, okay? This bit was not therapeutic in the slightest. God, I think I died like several times. But yeah, in the end I managed to get the Rubiks Cubes to stay Rubiks Cubed shaped, and this is what the finished cubby hole looks like. And next I am making the laptop, and there are two of these. At first I was confused because I was like, why is there so many? And then it's like, oh, because it's two laptops, and this is the one that goes on the table. And you can see in the background I've got the game pads already glued on. Those are useful because they came on the bits of wood. They were bits of wood and you just had to glue them on. I'm not making any sense, I'm sorry. I'm doing my voiceover late at night, so I'm just like, But you guys know what I'm like. I'm a bit crazy sometimes. But yeah, I like that the laptop has wood because it makes it more 3D and robust. Okay, and now I'm gluing on the little wheels for the rollerblades. Yeah, because the rollerblades go in the little cubbies, which are kind of cute. And I did a silly way of putting the tweezer inside the bead. I should have just held it normally, but whatever. Witness me struggle. That's what it should look like. And this is the finished version. Now I would have shown you the teacups being made, but that was like fiddly heaven. Well, hell actually. Fiddly hell for me, so I was like, that would be ages of filming. And then I went ahead and made the rest of the stuff. So this is the carpet. Of course, the carpet is my own carpet, by the way, which is actually made from an actual carpet sample, which I grabbed from John Lewis, but they were free, okay? And these are the super cute skateboards, which are super, super cute. I love them. They're so cute. And then you got the pictures, and one of them is a 3D hanging picture, which I think is super cool. Okay, next I am making the life boy. Is it called a life boy? You know, life ring, safety ring? No, life ring, which was a bit fiddly and gluey. Like I ended up with, if you've got good eyesight, you'll notice I have glue on my hands at least 75% of this entire project. Just glue everywhere, guys. That's pretty much how I get half of this done. Like at least half a tube of glue goes into these projects. But yeah, that was, see glue strings everywhere. I'm messy, but I do really enjoy making these. So there we go. And this is how you do it. And then you have the bit of ribbon which goes around. Now I think usually it's red, isn't it, on the thing? But I guess red wouldn't have really fit into the theme of the room, so they gave us brown ribbon instead. If I had red ribbon, I guess I might have customized it, but no. And this is what it looks like when I finished my absolute horrible attempt at it. Okay, and next is the plants. I've never made anything with plants before, and I have to say, well, second to the Rubiks Cube, it was more of the really more fiddly bits I've ever made, but it was really enjoyable. Now that's flour mud. That stuff is so crumbly and it gets everywhere. Also, when cutting wires, please be careful because, yeah, it shoots off into the abyss, and I was just like, where the hell has it gone? And then this is me gluing it. This is the easier flower pot to make, actually. There are other flower pots which are made, but this is the easier one that I made. Still very fiddly though, nonetheless. And this is the one which goes on the hanging shelf. I'm not sure if that's the correct term, a hanging shelf. Well, whatever. Oops. I drop a lot of the small things. Like, I'm small, but yeah, I struggle holding small things too, which is, yeah, don't give me small things, guys. I'll drop them. And this is like another one, flower pot I made, and that was made using like flower cane, polymer flower cane, which was super cool. Very fiddly, I'll tell you that, but super cool. And then this is the bit which goes on the side of the building, which is super awesome. Okay, now here's me making one of the lights, and this is the lantern which goes on the hanging shelf, which was also another fiddly affair. I'm sure there's probably a better way to go about making lights, but delicacy is not something I am designed for. So this is how I do it. If people don't like it, then keep that to yourself, please. But tips are welcome. Tips are always welcome. I would like to get better at making these maybe, because both my kits have a lot of glue stains everywhere. So I would like to reduce the amount of glue stains. But yeah. So that is the light. Now, one annoying thing about the lights in this kit is that the wires were not different colours, so I couldn't differentiate. I had to sort of test and trial with the batteries. But yeah, construction time. I actually went ahead and wired it all beforehand because that took me like half an hour and a neck cramp to wire it because it was so fiddly getting it through the bed. It was horrible. And in the end, I just decided to glue down the bed, so once the battery runs out, that's it. I won't be able to replace the battery. But I like this bit the best, when you get to see everything come together. I feel as though that's the most rewarding part of making these kits, you know? And okay, look, also, have you seen the little cat on the bed on the duvet? It's so cute. I love it. The cat is adorable. It's like perhaps the best feature of this, should I say? I don't know, but I find it really cute. I just love all the little details, you know? And in goes the desk. Now, you can see the wires everywhere. There's like, I didn't really know any good ways to sort of map the wires, so yeah, chunky wires, but what can you do? It's the first time I've ever had a kit where the battery pack was inside the scene, so it was a bit tricky for me to work around, so there is a lot of glue. But yeah, that's it. This is the finished product. Messy as it is, I still think it looks good, and I really had a good time making it, apart from the bit where I had to make Rubiks Cubes. That was not enjoyable, but the rest of it was very, very enjoyable, and I really like making like the fabric bits, like the pillows, because I just like sewing it. And this is what the flower features look like on the outside, which are super cool. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching me make this. I think hopefully in the future I will have 2 more kits on the way to me. I do have a giant kit right now, but I'm not going to have a go at that yet because I don't feel as though I'm skilled enough at making these just yet to tackle that. But like I said, should be at least 3 more of these coming your way. Well, I hope you guys enjoy watching me make this. I enjoy making them, so yeah, I just want to share that with you. And then here we have me attempting to get into the side to show you the cubby. Yeah, I couldn't quite figure it out because the cubby is really cool and you can't see it easily, so I just wanted to show you guys. But yeah, as always, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching it, and don't forget to subscribe to me if you already aren't. And now, just enjoy the pictures.